All right. Greetings. Welcome back to Blackbird News, where everything is connected and all the viewers are smarter than the average bear. What's up, y'all? Good to see you. People here. All right. Everybody here. Are we on Rockfin? Rockfin. Okay. Rockfin people, hello. We're live on YouTube, Rockfin, and on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, you know what to do. You know what to do. Anyways, greetings. Schulte says Everest is full of frozen poop now. I don't know why that's... I mean, whatever. I'm 12. It's funny. It's funny. In an adolescent kind of way. If you're on Twitter, you know, like the video, repost the video. Send me a comment from Twitter. I don't know. I guess so. Once in a while, the Twitter algorithms allow me to have all the viewers, or maybe they're fake viewers. I don't know. Yesterday was a really weird day because I had like 70 people watching on Twitter. I'm like, what's going on here? what's what's happening? I mean, YouTube won't let now. It's YouTube is like you can't have more than 25 people watching live. We're not going to tell you if there's any more than that, because they're just slowly just cracking the numbers down. Anyways, I keep going. All right, Victory Jen with a comment from Twitter. Right on. Oh, Little B with a comment from Twitter. Gene says hello, Kevin. Gene here. Right on. Victory Jen says hey. All right. Oh, I forgot. I didn't even see the first Twitter post. Howdy, Kevin. What is that? To all the bears. Okay. I think that got lost in translation. Anyways. What up then? All right, let's go through some things. It's Friday. Everybody, y'all doing stuff. It's Memorial Weekend. Y'all doing stuff. It's cool. We all like to do stuff. Everybody likes to do the stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to work on some music. That's what I'm going to do. I've been working on some music all week. I'm going to work on some music this weekend, I think. I think that might be the plan. Because I got a lot of work to do. So no rest for the weary. Which is one version of the saying, right? I think the other version is no rest for the wicked, but I'm not wicked. I'm weary. This is what I was trying to find yesterday, and I had retweeted this, and then Steph sent this to me. Sent the post that I had retweeted to me. Live reactions to Dr. James Hansen's announcement last week that Earth had already reached 1.5 C of global warming. We all knew that. Right? Schulte, you're getting out of the hospital. You okay? Anyways, live reactions. So I knew that. We knew that. A lot of the people in the know already knew that we've already hit 1.5 C, and it was they were trying to be all logical and skeptical about, we're not quite there yet, right? Even though we hit it, passed it, stayed at the 1.5 C, and then stayed at 1.7 for a while. Two months. What's going on, man? How did I miss that? You've been in the hospital for 2 months. How did I miss? Did I miss that? I'm sorry. Crikey. Um So let's watch this video. These are the reactions. Got it? All right. I think we got it. Anyways, thanks, Steph, for sending me the post that I was looking for so furiously yesterday at the end of the show. And it was something that I had reposted, so it shouldn't have been hard to find. Anyways, Dr. Hansen's blockbuster announcement, which has received exactly zero press stories. Not only that, I tried to look it up. If you remember yesterday, I tried to search. I tried to Google search. I tried to Twitter search. I was like, James Hansen, 1.5C, something. Nothing, absolutely nothing would come up, which tells you that they, listen, the narrative managers don't want people to know the actual state of the planet. They're really trying, even at the same time that they're pushing, climate change is a thing, but climate change is the only thing that they're pushing climate change for is for economics, for economic reasons. That's it. They only, they know climate change is real, but they are just using it as a tool to get funding for projects and get everybody to buy an electric car and, get everybody to get a new stove and all that kind of stuff, right? But they're not, what they don't want people to know is the actual state of the planet, how bad things are. And everybody's confused, right? People are just confused about, is it really happening? How bad is it? Oh my God, I wish people would shut up about climate change, all that kind of stuff, right? Anyways, so it's no wonder. It's no wonder they don't want you to actually. It actually benefits the narrative managers and the people in charge if you are a climate change denier. It actually benefits them. So it's a funny bit of a. I don't know what you want to call it, a paradoxical, ironic situation that. The people that are skeptical of climate change or think it's not happening, think it's a thing that they're pushing, right? Oh, they're pushing this climate change on us. All the while, they love the fact that you're a skeptic. They absolutely are overjoyed. Why? Because you can continue being a just a happy-go-lucky skipping in the grass consumer of things, right? You can just keep playing along with industrial civilization until it all falls apart, right? They want people to believe that everything is going to continue working right the way it is for as long as possible. They don't want people to know how bad things are and how close we are to collapse. So that's that's a bit of the strangeness of the whole whatever, the confusion around what's actually going on. But I should be able to Google search James Hansen 1.5C or anywhere and have it come up, boom, immediately. No, I searched James Hansen and they were like, "Are you talking about a football player? Are you talking about a baseball player? A cricket player? Are you talking about James Hansen from South Carolina, just regular dude walking around?" I was like, James Hansen, the climate scientist, the one, the professor, the guy. No, nothing. Okay. So that's got to tell you, that should show you something. If they're really going to that lengths to hide what he's saying, then of course climate change must not be true, because they're going to through an awful lot to hide James Hansen's announcement. Global temperature is now near its peak due to El Nino and aerosol decrease. How far will it fall in the coming La Nina? If El Nino La Nina average is 1.5 C, given Earth's energy imbalance, we are now passing through 1.5 C for practical purposes. Basically. Oh, look at, hey, it's obsolete optics all up in the comments. It says, it's only if you go by the shifted baseline, according to Andrew Glickson in his book, The Event Horizon, greenhouse gas forcing has risen by more than 2 watts per meter squared, equivalent to more than 2 C above pre-industrial temperature, oops, et cetera, et cetera. And anyone who's been watching can see we passed that threshold already last year, but they will never tell people and still say it's coming, it's coming. Right, because what do you do? Again, what do you do? Because the message is, we got to fix climate change. We got to do something about climate change. We got to get rid of the emissions. We got to get everybody to buy electric cars and to get solar panels on their house. We really got to do something about this climate change, right? If you tell people it's worse than, if you let people in on the idea that like we're screwed, then then people are going to be like, well, what's the point of this then? Maybe we should think about doing something else. Maybe we should really think about another path forward. Instead of this, maybe electric cars and solar panels could have worked like 40 years ago, but that's 40 years ago, right? What's the quote from, I'm just going to completely screw it up. The quote from Newsroom. I think that's what it was called. And the scientist said, imagine you're in a car with the car running and you're inside a garage and the anchor asks, well, what can we do? Or what should we do about it? And he says something like, turn the car off 20 years ago. Or is there a solution if we would have shut off the car 20 years ago? Anyways. Oh. So, yeah, but in all of this, and just to add to the confusion, is the fact that, the Biden administration is, loves to cheer on climate change action while they're upping the production of oil, right? While they're they're granting more drilling permits. They're, they're all in on energy independence for the U.S. They're all in on pumping more oil and more natural gas and more, all the things, right? There's no drawdown. There's absolutely no drawdown on energy consumption and or production. But they're just Again, this is just the sloganeering. It's sloganeering that makes them look good. It makes people think like, well, Biden is better than Trump. You better vote for Biden because Trump is terrible on climate change. So is Biden. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. I can't really tell you that one is better than the other. I would never do that. But I don't know. Biden's pretty bad. Like Biden is. We've seen 2 wars spring up under Biden, and we're about to see another one. They're pushing. They want it, and I wouldn't be surprised if China and Taiwan, if there was another conflagration that just sprang up this summer, so that we could get full tilt on, our imperialism before the election. I don't know why. Nobody likes it. No, it's not popular. Good luck, Schulte. Good luck, man. Anyways. Hey, kids, from Steve Austin. Ignore the U.S. has reached record oil production under my administration. And instead, get on board with the Green Blitz, and we'll get this done together. It's just, I wish Steve would put some links in here or something, or link it in the comments, please. I really don't like the screenshot news. Anyways, they don't care, and neither they can't really do anything about it. President Joe Biden has unleashed a flurry of election year rules on the environment as he tries to secure his legacy. Legacy of being the most, one of the worst presidential administrations I can remember. It's pretty bad. Objectively bad. Subjectively bad. JR Jr. says one can't call oneself a leftist and support Democrats. A vote for Biden is a vote for elite approved fascism. Yes, absolutely. Legacy of being to the right of George Bush. Yeah, absolutely. That has been Biden all along. An extremely right-wing Democrat. And to the right of Trump on a bunch of things, actually. To the right of a lot of people on a lot of things, anyways. Yeah, this is just he's a mess. He's a hot mess. As he tries to secure his legacy, President Joe Biden has unleashed a flurry of election year rules on the environment and other topics, including a landmark regulation that would force coal-fired power plants to capture smokestack emissions or shut down. Whoa. Edgy. Limits on greenhouse gas. That is, don't close down your coal-fired smokestacks, but capture those emissions for sure. Limits on greenhouse gas emissions from fossil-fueled electric stations are the Democratic president's most ambitious effort yet to roll back planet-warming pollution from the power sector, the nation's second largest contributor to climate change. The power plant rules among more than 60 regulations Biden and his administration finalized last month to meet his policy goals, including a promise to cut carbon emissions that are driving climate change roughly in half by 2030. Okay, I don't know how that lines up with pumping more oil than ever. I don't. It's very confusing, isn't it? Extremely confusing. Regulations led by the Environmental Protection Agency, but involving a host of other federal agencies, are being issued in quick succession as the Biden administration rushes to meet a looming but uncertain deadline to ensure they are not overturned by a new Congress or a new president. I mean, okay, the Biden administration is in green blitz mode, said Lena Moffitt, executive director of the activist group Evergreen Action. The barrage of rules covers more than the environment. With the clock ticking toward Election Day, Biden's administration has issued or proposed rules on a wide range of issues, from student loan forgiveness and affordable housing to overtime pay, health, and compensation for airline passengers who are unreasonably delayed, as he tries to woo voters in his re-election bid against presumptive Republican nominee Donald Trump. He's not really doing very good on any of that. So, I mean, most of that is serious lip service. I don't know, he's not really forgiven a lot of loans. I don't know anybody there's not a lot of people who've gotten relief under that. Affordable housing, overtime pay, okay. And all federal agencies broke records by publishing 66 significant final rules in April, higher than any month in Biden's presidency, according to George Washington University's Regulatory Studies Center. More than half the rules, 34, were considered likely to have an economic impact of at least $200 million. That tally is by far the highest issued by a recent president in a single month. The center said the next closest was 20 such rules issued by Trump in his final month in office. Biden is not shying away from promoting the rules. For example, he went to Madison, Wisconsin to promote his actions on student loan relief after the Supreme Court rejected his initial plan. More often, cabinet officials are being dispatched around the country, often to swing states, to promote the administration's actions. Policies created by rulemaking are easier to reverse than laws when a new administration takes office, especially with a sharply divided Congress. Okay. Policies created by rulemaking are easier to reverse. So, I mean, they're basically saying these can all be reversed. There's no time to start like today, Biden said on his first day in office as he moved to dismantle the Trump legacy over the course of his presidency. Biden has reinstated protections for threatened species that were rolled back by Trump. He has also boosted fuel efficiency standards. Huzzah. Reversing the former president. The Education Department's gainful employment rule targets college programs that leave graduates with high debt compared to their expected earnings. And the Department of Housing and Urban Development moved to restore a rule that was designed to eliminate racial disparities in suburbs and thrown out by Trump. It's widely expected that Trump would move to reverse Biden regulations if he were to win in November. Well, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so most of this is just politicking, right? Look what we're doing. We're changing the rules for the climate. And then, just things that can be easily reversed. Yeah, I know. All right. Come on, everybody. Get in on the green blitz. Speaking of blitz, Israel blitzed some refugees today. Or maybe it was yesterday. Maybe it was the day before. There's nothing like aerial bombing some tents, to really drive home the idea that you're, you're just defending yourself, right? Israel just airstruck refugees living in tents as a message to the ICJ, who told them to stop massacring people. Israel is telling the world that they are the terrorists. Because, you know. Because you know how dangerous the people in those tents are.
الضربات كبيرة لحقت خيام المواطنين في القرب من منطقة أصداء في مواسم خان يونس بعد قصف.
Contemplative pragmatist says probably all 3 days, yes.
حالة من الذعر والهلع. ألفات من الخيام تواجد في هذا
But
المكان.
do you condemn Hamas?
في الغارة.
I'm not even going to do the whole like, well, what Hamas did on October 7th was really horrific. But no, just you can can all that shit too. Just I'm not a journalist who's going to play that game. Well, like why even, you know, that's just a nonsensical disclaimer. By the way, we are going to stay with some climate stuff, but like this story is interesting on a lot of levels. People are eating black bear meat. Don't you eat no black bear meat? I mean, I guess I don't know, when the food goes away, we're going to eat anything walking. So there's that. If the supermarket's all shut down for long enough, man, wildlife and your pets and anything on 2 or 4 or 6 or 8 legs doesn't stand a chance. Anyways, at least 6 family members who shared a meal of bear meat that one of the family members had harvested earlier were subsequently infected with brain worms. Yikes. Gene, oh, no, I didn't hear that. That's funny because do you have a link or something for that? Or where'd you see that? An Apocalypse Applebee's, what's on the menu? Black Bear News is living up to the name. Family. So listen, and what's messed up is they have a picture of RFK Jr. like smack dab on the top of the article. Where'd he go? Well, it was here. Anyways. Oh, you messed up my whole thing, people. A number of family members who shared a meal, get out of here, shared a meal of bear meat that one of the family members had harvested earlier were subsequently infected with brain worms, according to a new report from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. In July 2022, the Minnesota Department of Health was flagged that a 29-year-old man had been hospitalized multiple times over a 2.5-week period with symptoms including fever, severe muscle soreness, swelling around the eyes, and other various maladies. Following his second hospitalization, the man told doctors that he had days earlier attended a family gathering in South Dakota and that one of the meals they shared included kebabs made from black bear meat. Golly. It's either disgusting or super delicious. I don't know. I don't eat meat, so I would never eat a kebab made from black bear meat or any other meat, but whatever. Anyways, that the meat had been harvested by one of the family members in northern Saskatchewan. The meat had been in a freezer for a month and a half before it being thawed out for the meal. The CDC reported that because the meat was darker in color, it was initially and inadvertently served rare. Family members began eating the kebabs, but noted that the meat tasted underdone, so it was recooked and served again. Ew. That's gross. 9 family members, largely from Minnesota, but also hailing from South Dakota and Arizona, ate the meal, though some of them only ate the vegetables, which had been cooked and served alongside the bear meat. The vegetables also had the worms. Technically, that would be cannibalism, yes. Anyways, doctors ultimately diagnosed the 29-year-old man with trichonellosis, a roundworm, which is rare in humans and usually acquired through the consumption of wild game. Once in a human host, the larvae can move through the body to the muscle tissue and organs, including the brain. 5 other family members were diagnosed with these freeze-resistant worms, including a 12-year-old girl and 2 other family members who had only eaten the vegetables at the meal. And all 3 family members were hospitalized and were treated with albendazole, which the Mayo Clinic says keeps the worms from absorbing sugar so that the worm loses energy and dies. The CDC advised that the only sure way to kill trichinella parasites is to adequately cook the meat it resides in to a temperature of at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Anyways, CDC said estimates of how prevalent trichinella parasites are among wild animals range widely, but it's thought that up to 1/4 of black bears in Canada and Alaska may be infected. Brainworms made national news earlier this year after presidential hopeful Robert F. Kennedy Jr. disclosed that a parasitic worm he contracted a year ago ate a portion of his brain, causing potential cognitive issues. Symptoms of brainworm infection can include nausea, vomiting, headaches, and seizures. Dr. Celine Gounder told CBS News, however, people who contract the worms may also see no symptoms at all. So there you go. Well, we got, I'm going to have an order of the black bear kebabs. It is disgusting, Victory Chin. Yes. Deline says, man is a carnivore. I mean, I don't know. I haven't eaten meat in a long time. Although I do eat animal proteins. I eat cheese and eggs. I don't eat the meat itself. And I have been fully vegan at some time, during some times, but I'm weak in that regard. But I just don't eat meat, and I feel better because of it. I don't have a desire to eat meat again. Whatever, but do what you want. Live your life how you like. I'm not a moralizing vegetarian. It's just I do it for health reasons, and I just feel better when I don't eat meat. So there you go. And when I think about it, I've never really been a big meat eater. When I was a kid, I mean, sure, I liked like hamburgers and stuff, but like I don't really like steak. My stepmother would cook steaks for us, and I just refused to eat them because I just was not down with it. I don't know. I just didn't. It wasn't something I was like super into, and I really didn't like chicken either. Chicken was like, ugh. Yeah. Twitter won't let me send you a message. Okay. Yeah, but hey, people have different, needs and whatnot. Personally, I'm not a meat eater, and I don't want to eat it. What's up, Rockfin people? Where are you? Where'd you go? I mean, there's a few people watching on Rockfin. I don't know. I don't know why you can't send me a message, Gene. Where are you? Hold on. Let me see if I can find you. I found you. Let's see. I'm going to get to the... Why won't it show me your chat messages? That's not very nice. Is it because one of us doesn't... do you follow me or do I follow you? I think sometimes if hold on. Let's see if I can find you. There you are. Oh, that's why. Now you can send me a message, Little B or Gene. You can send it now. You follow me. I wasn't following you. I apologize. I don't see you too much on Twitter. Very, very rarely. I know that you watch the shows from Twitter sometimes. Word. Brainworms. The word is brainworms. You thought the bird was a word. No. Is worms is the word. Worms is the word. Brainworms. I'm having too much fun saying brainworms. Major flooding in Turkey this morning due to heavy rain. People are just out, swimming in the street and stuff like they do. You can DM me now. I think. Were you trying to send me something, Gene? Yeah, no, I saw that post about the man lit a cigarette inside of a car filled with propane tanks, and why am I laughing? It's messed up. But blew that car to smithereens. Man, that car was blowed up. And I think he actually just had minor injuries, which I find really hard to believe because the rest of that car is obliterated. I don't know how you make it out of that one. But apparently he was living in his car. Now, I would not live in a car with propane tanks. I would not cohabitate with propane tanks ever. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. Yeah. This is in France. Also with the floods. With the floods. France getting smacked down. Guangzhou again in China. Heavy rain for the third consecutive day. The cumulative precipitation in the past 3 days has exceeded 500 millimeters. Some streets were flooded. This is, I don't know, now weeks. Several weeks in the last month or two. Yeah. Word. This is from Brazil again. Rio Grande do Sul. It's flooding again. Just wrecking the joint. Okay. And in Ghana, they're getting smacked by the weather whack-a-mole. Who's next? Who's next in the exciting game of weather whack-a-mole? Well, today, Ghana's up. Pretty much everything is Ghana. That's messed up. Okay, let's see if I can see. Gene, did I get a message from you? Gene, did you send me a message? There you go. All right. Whoa. It's not letting me see the page. You sent me a message and it says that page does not exist. What happened? Did you send me what the heck? What was this from? Is it now I can't go to the page. It says the page is not there. What is it? I want to see it now. My interest is super peaked. Can you send it again? Please. Or because I think maybe something happened to the link when you sent it. China is throwing away thousands of electric vehicles due to an inability to recycle them all. It's kind of a long video, but we're kind of at the end of the show here. Okay, first let's talk about Everest. And I guess, there's a lot of activity on Everest right now. And so people are kind of pointing out the absolute ridiculousness of people hiking Everest at this point in civilization in the timeline. This is a bad point in the timeline to be hiking Everest, I think. But whatever, people just do what they want to do. That's what they do. People do what they want to do. I follow Hotspot, or do I? I should. They hide stuff from me on Twitter. They just hide it. Here we go. I can't even remember what the story is that were. Oh, yeah, here it is. Israeli security source confirms that Mossad downed Iranian President Raisi's helicopter, killing him. And what? No. Well, you know what? Then my reporting on it was correct. My hunch was correct, which was kind of the obvious hunch. Yeah. Anyways, I thought it had something to do with the Israeli conflict and the fact that they're kind of waging a low key, not a hot war with Iran, but they're trying to, they're trying to poke a stick at them, is what they're doing. So my immediate thought was that it was Israel and the U.S. That was my immediate thought. My immediate thought was correct. It looks like. I heard on James Corbett that they were saying it was possibly the Ayatollah's son who took him out, because the Ayatollah's son, there's an internal struggle for who's next in power when the Ayatollah leaves the mortal plane. So that was their hunch, but I was like, really? I mean, maybe. I kind of feel like the obvious one would be Mossad would be my go-to. Anyways. Claiming Mossad was behind the helicopter crash, citing the deletion of satellite data. Right. That was yep. Yeah. Well, the first thing I saw was that the data, the weather data, the satellite data for the area was missing on the 19th, which, indicates that, people with the power to do that might have been involved. Sources within the Pentagon have revealed that a top-secret microwave weapon was used, deployed from U.S. Air Force C-17. This weapon capable of frying all electronic systems within seconds. EMP. Basically. I mean, they have EMP weapons already. They can fry anything they want. It's well, it's kind of top secret, right? Exactly. Top secret. This is what that was what I heard. That's what I heard as well. Seems to make sense. Seems to line up. I don't know. If you're watching on Rockfin, like the video up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, right now I'm going to let you know if you enjoy this content. If you enjoy this content coming to you for free Monday through Friday, sometimes on Saturday, and please go ahead and consider supporting the channel financially. There are a bunch of links in the description box, Rockfin and YouTube, and maybe I'll link them on Twitter too. Anyways, the usuals are there: PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, coffees, etc. Those are all really super great ways to support the channel. And to the people that already support the channel in those ways, I appreciate you. Let's look at the Everest, the ridiculous Everestness of it all. Yeah, I mean, I think people are pointing out just how kind of we've reached peak civilization here because people insist on doing this stuff. Well, while the glaciers on Everest are all melting, revealing all the waste and the human remains from years and years of intrepid explorers trekking up the mountain so they can get the little certificate in the mail. When you hike up Everest, they send you the thing in the mail that said, "Congratulations." I don't think they do that. They send you a patch. I climbed Mount Everest patch. Mount Everest, 1994, bro. It's my first trek up Everest. It was 1994. I lost 3 toes. I almost lost my life, but I only lost 3 toes. Anyways, this is Mount Everest base camp, overflowing with people, tents, garbage, and human waste. It's kind of like Burning Man, bro. We're going to go climb Mount Everest, dude, and then we're going to go to Burning Man. It's going to be just so freaking sick, bro. It's going to be sick. Anyways, can you see all that? Can you see all that that garbage? This is like huge. It's just a sprawling, it's like a city. It's just tents and igloos and tents and these like fake little igloos. And then the traffic. There's so many people trying to climb Everest because, it's just so special to climb Mount Everest, right? It's just such a, an amazing achievement. Like everybody does it, right? So it's so, unique and wondrous and everything that there's like traffic that's actually putting people in jeopardy because they can't get down. The Everest climbing season has just begun, and there are already several deaths. The overcrowding of recent years is becoming highly dangerous. This overcrowding is preventing those who have reached the summit from descending. Dang. That would suck. I'm just trying to get off this thing. Jane, let me off this thing. That looks rough. I think there's more. Climbers share the same route up and down. A high volume of climbers can create bottlenecks, especially in the death zone, where thin air and extreme cold already make climbing dangerous. Getting stuck in a bottleneck increases the risk of altitude sickness, exhaustion, and can be fatal. The Everest climbing permit costs around $11,000, increasing to $15,000 in 2025. While there have been discussions about reducing permits in the future, the number of climbers for 2024 likely remains high. Clearly, this climber has never used crampons in their life. If the video continued, we would see how this section collapses, dragging some of them down. Better for me to refrain from commenting. Oh, Jesus. Holy shit. Goes on, these people are not mountaineers, but rather wealthy tourists, see Burning Man, who only put the lives of mountaineers who have been preparing for years at serious risk. I just can't get the non-mountaineers commenting here. If you're a mountaineer, you can understand our motivation to climb. You neither know it or feel it. I mean, look, at this point, even if you're a mountaineer, even if you're like seasoned professional and this is just what I do, find something else to do, yo. Because I know you're not like, are you making money doing this? Just stop destroying the planet for your personal pleasure, okay? Jeez. I know, that's kind of everybody. It's like really, it is hard to say that because kind of everybody destroys the planet for their personal pleasure, but some people just actually do the most. They just do the most. I just can't get the non-mountaineers commenting here, blah, blah, blah. I wonder if people are against mountaineering because it's dangerous or also against marathons, Formula One. Yeah, I'm against all of them. Marathons, probably the least, but people travel. You have to marathons are like people travel, and there's I'm sure a lot of carbon emissions involved in marathons, but marathons are probably the least destructive. But yes, absolutely against Formula One racing, mountaineering, all that junk, everything, motorcycle racing, boxing, wrestling. Yes, all of it must go. I don't know. Jesus. Just stop already. Anyways. Rob Vinder says, stop issuing permits and prohibit climbing for an extended period. This is madness. Yes, I agree with that. Just close the whole thing down. Oh, what? Oh, no. I used to say that about, making some areas of wilderness completely off limits. And everybody was like, oh, my God. Well, what about the people that care for what about the serious backpackers and No, all of you, everybody, stop going. Just stop going. Because you're not going to say, well, only the real people can go, or, okay. So let's say not such an extreme thing would be let's say you had to take a 2-week, environmental education class, right? To camp somewhere or to go hike somewhere or to go into a certain area. I bet that would probably keep a lot of people out. Right? But it's not about keeping people out. It's about generating the money that all those people bring with them, right? They're not going to close down national forests or close off areas because they're not going to do that. They're just going to charge more money. That's it. That's all they're going to do. Just charge more money, make it more expensive, make it really, really expensive. $11,000 for a climbing permit, $15,000 for a climbing permit. But man, all these people want to come. Well, hell yeah. How about $20,000? Anyways, it's ridiculous. I actually am more along I'm more of the mind that just shut it all down. Just close it off. And if you can't do that, then force people to do something kind of arduous you know, somewhat arduous, like take a class for a couple of weeks to get a camping permit or something, man, that would probably chop the visitors in half. Well, what do we do? Where are we going to generate the fees? I don't know, dude. It's not about capitalism. It's not about money. It's about saving the environment. It's about saving the area. It's not from total and utter destruction. I read Into Thin Air. I'm pretty sure I read that. Make a lottery, only 100 people a month. I'm sure, maybe that. I'm pretty sure I read Into Thin Air. Yeah, I did read it. It's pretty good. $19.96. I mean, people have just been doing this forever, right? For so long. It's been done. It has been done. Like, whoop-de fucking do. Oh, you climb Mount Everest? I don't give a fuck. Wow. Crazy. I bet that was hard. Stop. Like, I would just be like, really? Wow. Special. I know. I'm probably not. I'm probably not sounding very nice to some people when I say that, and I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. There's a I don't know. I'm trying to think of this. Somebody making a remark about the fact that being nice and I don't know, compassionate may not be the word, but being oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Just being, allowing for, everybody to do their own thing is actually making the world a worse place. Like, there's got to be like some kind of rules and some kind of harshness to the rules eventually. I don't know. Or maybe everybody is just going to evolve, right? If we just, maybe the other idea is that if we just let everybody do whatever they want, everybody's just going to evolve and choose the right thing. I think that's the underlying, like, kind of idealism or thought process around, and that's fine, around like a compassionate take towards what people are doing. But I don't know, like, I don't know that it's really working, right? It's like, peaceful protest and, right, like, yeah, the level of compassion with which people deal with each other is rising, which I think is great. But is that really, like, is it actually making the world a better place? I don't know. It makes it for a little nicer place for some people, I think. But is it actually leading to any, like, profound change in the way that, especially the people that are motivated by power and influence? It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything about the way they operate. In fact, now the new thing is for people to use this compassionate kind of motif in order to kind of, to fly under the radar a little bit, right? And you see that all the time. You see that mocked, right, in comedy skits, right? People who are, just, in touch with the oneness of the universe, right? But meanwhile they're like running slave, factories, and, right, selling things online, they're made with slave labor, and, right, that destroy the environment, and, right, but they're just, like, so in touch with, like, manifesting, like, a more, right, that whole thing. Yeah. I don't know. You haven't seen a rising compassion, contemplative pragmatist? I mean, I don't know. In general, I think people are the vibration of people in general is going. I think it's going up. I think that's objectively going up. Right? People are learning more about, how they operate and how other people operate, and better ways to. But as far as like how things run, like the running of the business of society and all that kind of stuff, no, I don't think the compassion part really makes it into that. But on a personal level, I think people are more compassionate. I don't know. It'd be great if I could see that, if I could see civilization working as a more compassionate entity, right, on the whole. But anyways, thank you so much for your eyes, your ears, and your conscience, and especially thank you for the conversation. I think, guys, I might do a book reading tomorrow. I probably will at the same time, 4 p.m. Let's keep it going because we're going to finish this book, Ministry for the Future. So tomorrow at 4, I'll do a book reading. So come on back and sit a spell. All right? All right. Until next time. Peace.